Hey, my name's Anthony.
My name's Alex.
And we are
The Pta Podcast.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Pta Podcast. Before we start the episode, don't forget to like and subscribe to us on Spotify, as well as like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We do love and appreciate each and every one of you for the support you've given us. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
Now, with this episode, what I want to focus on is what most people don't understand. Most people think they have to go harder in the gym, diet down harder, and just push themselves more and more and more to get a result.
I had that conversation again this morning.
But that couldn't be further from the truth,
yeah,
right?
badly.
So this episode is all about the fact that you're not doing anything wrong. You're just overstimulated, undernourished, and you're under-recovered, right? I don't believe in overtraining. We believe in
Under-recovering.
Exactly. So these three things we push a lot with our clients as a part of the education and health umbrella that we look after when it comes to what we do for our clients. And the reason for that is because we know from personal experience that the burnout doesn't come from working out too hard. The burnout comes from not being able to recover from what we're doing and how hard we're pushing our body.
Yeah.
So I had injuries many times over. I've had times where I just, couldn't lift the weight anymore and just literally took my shoes off, undid my belt, and I just walked away. You're like, bro, come on. I'm like, I got nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And it's because, it wasn't because the weights were hard. It's because I wasn't prepared.
You were gassed.
I was not that much gassed, but I wasn't prepared. I was under-recovered. I was so...
Actually, let me rephrase that. Your nervous system was just gassed.
My nervous system was just completely finished. So I had nothing to give. Yeah. And it wasn't because of the fact that the training was hard. It was because of the fact that what we had been doing with our recovery just wasn't, or for me, wasn't where it needed to be.
Yeah.
And the problem is that when you do that time and time and time again, people get comfortable in this mindset of, it's okay, I'll just get through.
Yeah.
I'll just push through.
Yeah.
And then they get frustrated when they either get aches and pains, they get injured, or they're not getting the fat loss or the muscle building results or the strength gains that they want. Right? Or they're feeling like they're just really fatigued and flat, they got brain fog, they can't focus. The list goes on. Right? So one of the biggest things that we like to teach people is how to flip that. And it's actually more simple than people may assume. It's not so much about trying to magically do something different or trying to flip your entire routine and schedule upside down. It's actually about slowing down, focusing on recovery, and incorporating things and integrating things into your lifestyle. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I've found?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ben.
So
What I've found is majority of people aren't actually doing the wrong thing. They just need to tweak what they're doing, right? I've found, and I'm sure you will agree, there are a lot of people that kind of have a very basic understanding of, what they need to do, right? Everyone goes, yeah, no, I need to, clean up my food, or I don't move enough, and I know I need to move more. So you start to understand through conversations that people have some level, even if it's very basic, some level of understanding of what they need to do. But what I find is that they need to just make some tweaks to those habits or to their daily routine to then ensure that they're not under recovering, but they're actually improving their recovering. They're not doing anything, but they're actually moving more in a sense of moving more without stressing their body out. Like, going for a walk rather than killing themselves 3 times in the gym doing 1 hour HIIT workouts that aren't getting them anywhere.
That's the thing, and you read my mind without ever realizing, I think HIIT workouts is the biggest waste of somebody's time with the type of client that we look after.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is this. People think the more you sweat, the harder you train, the better it is. And that's true to an extent. You need to train hard, right? But you also need to understand that the way in which you train is really important. High intensity interval training all the time is actually not beneficial to you long-term for the goals that you want. And the reason for that is because you're simply not causing muscle to build. Unless you have weights incorporated in what you're doing, that is the only way to reshape your body, the only way to look like you actually train, the only way to have a physique that is strong and healthy and that you're proud of. Nobody wants to be skinny with no, on 90% of the people I know and that we train as well, don't just want to be skinny and just look like skin and bone, right? Because that's not healthy. We know what happens to somebody's long-term health without muscle. So why would we encourage people to keep doing high-intensity workouts, keep doing a whole bunch of extra cardio, keep dieting down really hard, keep pushing themselves more and more in terms of that calorie deficit, which causes them to lose muscle because the body's got to find energy from somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So why would we make them do that? That goes back to what we said at the start. The under-recovered, the overstimulated, and the undernourished.
Yeah. So
we get clients eating more food, bloating goes down. We get clients eating more food, energy goes up. We get clients eating more food, and magically fat loss occurs
100%.
where it wasn't in the past, right? Which is remarkable, which
100%.
I am actually proud of, because it shows me, it reinforces the fact that when somebody gets a result like that, it's telling me that, holy moly, what the body needs is just a bit of time to just relax a bit.
Yeah. I think people don't realize that. And look, I don't expect them to even know this, because, you know, it's not their job to know. But the body is a survival mechanism, and it will do anything and everything that it needs to survive, right? So I was having a nutrition consultation this morning with a female client of ours, mum of 2 kids, lovely lady. You know, she's doing and just trying everything that she can. Right. And I was talking to her about, you know, needing to eat more. So she had taken 3 days worth of photos of food, and she was showing me, you know, what she was eating. She went through the food diary that we got her to put together to see, you know, what she was eating and how much she was eating and her food choices. And I started to explain to her, look, your food choices aren't actually bad. Your food choices are actually pretty great, right? Eggs, meats, chicken, red meat, salad, you know, good choices of vegetables as well. Your food choices are pretty good. But I can clearly see through these photos that you're not having enough protein and you're not having enough calories in your day in general. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah. I said, your food portions are very small. You're probably eating, and I did like a bit of a rough calculation, and it was about 1,300 to 1,400 calories in her day, right? And then I sat there after doing her body fat test, and I calculated for her what her maintenance calories were. Maintenance calories were 2,197 to be exact. So 2,200 calories pretty much. But she's having 1,300 to 1,400 a day. That's almost 1,000 calories less. Almost. We're talking 800 calories that she's missing out on per day.
And
right, just to be at a maintenance.
Well, you're probably overestimated as well. Most of us overestimate.
Yeah, 100%.
I believe it could have been a lot less.
Yeah, it could have been.
You know, I saw some of the photos as I walked into that room, and it was, you know, nuts, and it wasn't anything that was yielding a lot. It wasn't a big meal. It was
like she got so stunned that the 3 eggs only equal to like 220 calories. She was like, "I'm so full after those 3 eggs," and I was like, "It's only 220 calories, so it's nothing."
Yeah. Well, the thing is, calories will determine how much you weigh. Your macros will determine how your body composition.
Exactly.
Your
right.
micronutrients will determine how you feel.
Exactly right.
Right. And so I'll let you finish on my point.
So pretty much with that, I was explaining to her, you know, that our body needs calories. Our body needs food. It needs food. It needs external energy coming from somewhere, or else it's going to start going, okay, well, if I'm not getting enough, then I'm going to start doing what I need to do to survive. And so I used an example of, with women, how the female body, if it's not getting enough energy, it will literally turn its menstrual cycle off. Because it deems that as not a necessity to survive, and it's just a waste of energy right now, and I'm not getting enough energy right now, so I'm just going to turn that tap off, right? Because I need to save as much energy as possible.
Reproduction doesn't become a priority anymore.
And and she was like jaw to the desk, like, what? And I was like, yeah. I said, now you're in a state of you're perimenopausal now, right? She said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, you know the best thing for women that are peri or going through menopausal? She goes, what? I said, eat at a maintenance. She said, why? I said, because it's another system that the body's needing to go through, as well as every other system that it's already trying to, use and go through each day to keep you alive, it's another system that requires energy. So if your body is going through a whole new system whilst it's doing everything else it was already that requires energy, don't you think that maybe you need to give it the energy it needs to actually go through that system properly?
Well, even like a little bit like on from that as well. When you're not eating well or not eating enough, what builds up over time?
Stress.
And another word for that is?
Inflammation.
Exactly. What's one of the biggest things that cause women to be in a lot of pain through and discomfort and feel really depleted when they do have their period?
Inflammation.
Right? What high levels of inflammation?
High
what
levels,
causes women who are perimenopausal or menopausal to feel like what they're going through is just
hell. Higher levels of inflammation.
The inflammation makes things worse.
Yeah.
The change in their body is not comfortable for them at all, but inflammation will make it worse. So if you can use all the tools that you can use, or the resources that you can use to keep inflammation low, why wouldn't you?
Exactly right.
And two easy ways are eat a maintenance, build muscle.
That's it. So I was explaining all of that to her, and she got it, and I'm great that she was on board. And I downloaded the calorie tracking app that we get clients to use, the MyNet Diary. Explained to her how it all works. Went through our our NEAT levels. Went through our training program. Yada yada. I did all of that, and she was pumped and whatnot. And she pretty much ended that conversation with, "I thought I was doing enough, but I'm obviously not doing enough." And I said, exactly. I said, that's the thought process I want you to have.
In what way though?
I'm also with the food, right? So she thought she was eating enough.
Okay.
But obviously she's not eating
she does
enough,
a lot,
right?
Like
yeah.
100%. Yeah, okay.
And so that's pretty much what she was getting at, because it was mainly about the food in general. That's what that concept was about. The main jux of all of it was her nutrition.
Yeah, that's what most people kind of struggle with.
Yeah, and so she was like, I thought I was doing enough, but obviously I'm not doing enough. And I said, exactly. I said, so now you know how much you need to eat. Now, I said, I don't want you to go off and change what you're eating. What you're eating is great. I like the fact that she was having a little bite size Moro bar, every second, third day, right? Because that little bite size thing, this is going to be detrimental to her. If anything, it's going to make her more compliant, right, to what she's doing. Because she feels like for herself, she's not being a Nazi about everything. Because in a sense, not everyone's going to work off being 100% strict, no, nothing at all, right? She's a mum. She's got 2 kids. She wants to enjoy a little bit of a trip with the kids while they're watching a show at night before she puts the kids to bed. Bro, go have it. Enjoy it, right? But just be disciplined with how much of it you have.
Well, the thing is, again, one of the past episodes that we did, I put a post about it a couple of days ago. There's this stigma about eating or eating to lose body fat that has to be bland and boring. And it's like, not really. When I have a donut, right, everyone's around me is like, are you fucking having a donut? Like, oh shit, Anthony's having a donut.
Remember at the work Christmas party when we pulled out all the desserts?
Yeah,
all the coaches are like, calories, let's go.
But all the clients are like, the coaches are having donuts. I'm like, bro, have one with me. They're like, but is that not good? I'm like, it's not good to do every day, but this is not an everyday thing, right? And even if it was an everyday thing, like, you've got to be okay with the decisions that you make.
100%.
All right, so if we do the, again, 80-20, 90-10 rule with our calories, that's a really good way to stay consistent without feeling like you're, missing out on good times or not able to stay social or not even able just to enjoy yourself. Like, I look forward to my weekends. Well, the main reason why I look forward to my weekends is because we can go out with Arthur and have something that's off plan, but we can enjoy it. I'm not worried. I'll have a schnitzel, I'll have a burger. I couldn't give a fuck, right? I know I'm not going to feel good after it, but that's a one-day thing or 1 meal thing. Out of my whole week, 1 or 2 meals is pretty good, bro.
Yeah.
Right? So, again, going back to this whole concept of, undernourished and overstimulated and under-recovered, we know what we need to do, and we always mention this, Alex, and you mention it a lot, the basics always win. Right, but I still feel like clients go, I know what I need to do, I just don't know how to do it or how to incorporate it, or there's too many things I need to work on at once. It's too overwhelming. So a lot of our job is just simplifying this whole process, right? Man. So I'll give you guys an example. Running three businesses, right? Trying to grow a 4th one as well, and getting my own life, in order with waking up, eating, sleeping, training, supplements, peptides, hydration, as well as serving my clients and my customers the way that I do, as well as being the father, the husband, the son, the brother, and then the leader for my business, and then the mentor and the coach and the right kind of boss. It's a lot of hats I'm wearing, right? How do I manage it all without feeling like I'm going to just pull my hair out. There's a system that I follow. Right? And it's a system that you need to understand is really important.
Yeah.
Because if the system isn't there, you're always going to fall flat in your face and you're always going to feel like you're starting again. And then you're going to eventually feel like you failed.
Yeah, and that's demotivating.
And the thing is, it's true. And the thing is, I spend a lot of time tweaking that system. And my system is my calendar. So I block out time, and every single hour of my day is accounted for. And I block out time on purpose because I need to make sure that my time is precious and my time is protected.
Yeah.
So if I need to eat, I'm stopping, I'm eating for that 10, 15, 20 minutes, I go back to my task. I don't try and eat and then do work at the same time because it just doesn't work that way. I get too distracted. So I eat 20 minutes, half an hour, switch my brain off, eat, recharge, bang, go again, right? And the reason why I do that is because singular focus is the best focus.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you're somebody that wants to, I don't know, meal prep while you're doing the laundry and then do the ironing while the food's in the oven, good luck. Something's going to fuck up and you're not going to be able to maintain that. Just focus on one thing at a time and plan yourself out. And if you need assistance or guidance or support, this is where you voice that.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So, I'm talking to our mothers here mainly. When I say this, there's no need to feel like you can't ask for help. Right? I don't know how everybody's personal lives are or home life is, but our mum got us doing chores on a Friday afternoon after school every week, right? And it's the biggest reason why you and I are very domesticated.
That duster, man.
Okay? Mate, the worst duster of all time you were. Shout. Look, I can't talk. I wasn't the best vacuum ever.
Brother, my dusting skills,
I reckon I caused more damage to the cornices.
I reckon I got worse as the years got on. I started off great, got worse as the years went on.
Just going back to what I'm saying, we did that kind of stuff obviously to help mum, so mum could be able to have singular focus on doing what? Everything else.
Yeah, exactly right.
Prep dinner, organize dinner, cook our dinner, organize our lunches, right? And we're talking back when we were in primary school and high school, right? Mm. Have our clothes on for the morning. There was a lot that she did. Yeah. And then our dad stepped in and did what he needed to do. So there was a system and there was teamwork there. Same thing applies when you have your fat loss goals, when you come to the gym, right? Or if you're running a business and then trying to train, you need to work out what you can definitely stay consistent with, and then just do your absolute best to execute at a high level as possible.
Yeah.
I love shooting for perfection, right? And the reason why I love shooting for perfection is because I'm always going to end up higher than what I was if I wasn't going to shoot for perfection, right? This is why I was talking to somebody earlier today about business. And they're like, I just want to double my revenue. I'm like, why not 10x your revenue? They're like, whoa.
Yeah, we spoke about that yesterday.
Yeah. I said, doubling your revenue does not do anything for you. He's like, why? I said, because that's an emotional decision because it's safe. If you 10x your revenue, you're forced to make changes because to 10x revenue is huge. Yeah. And a lot of things need to change to 10x revenue, right? Things need to be simplified, things need to be automated, things need to be streamlined, right? Whatever it might be. You need to really protect your time because your time is valuable and it's for high-end tasks that are going to deliver more revenue into your business. So when you think of it that way, things need to change. Why not think like that with fat loss? Why do we play emotionally safe with fat loss? Why can't we go, you know what, I need to fucking change. I need to look at my schedule and I need to make sure that what I'm doing is totally different because right now, this fucking thing I'm doing ain't working.
Yeah.
Right? And if I just want to lose 5 kilos, I just want 5 kilos down. You're going to do fuck all. Aim for 25 kilos. You won't get 25 kilos in 6 weeks, but you definitely get a lot more than 5 kilos in 6 weeks 100%. Because you've changed a system which has forced you to change. Yeah. And you've removed things that are a waste of your time, and you've incorporated things and integrated things that are better for you to do, and you've put together a system around your household, right? And again, I'm talking to parents now, around your household that works for you and everybody else. So shit stays consistent.
100%. One of the things that I love, and I mainly use it when it comes to training techniques, but I feel like it does apply to just every aspect of life in general. You know the whole saying, practice makes perfect?
Yeah.
That's bullshit. Perfect practice makes perfect.
Shout out Sebastian Oreb. You taught us that, mate. Thank you.
Perfect practice makes perfect. And when he told us that, I think it was 8 years ago.
No, more.
Probably more, yeah. But that stuck with me because I was like, it's so true because it was like, imagine practicing shit every day, all you're going to achieve is shit because you're practicing shit. But if you practice perfect technique, and obviously it was in the sense of the strength training that he was mentoring us with, if you practice perfect technique, you can only achieve perfect or near perfect.
And the thing is with that as well, I know somebody's going to pick on some fucking semantics. I just want to nip it in the butt early. There is no such thing as perfect technique, so calm the fuck down, all right? Just relax. When we look at the whole concept of perfect technique is obviously nailing what works for your body with how you position yourself, just for the Karens listening, that's all.
100%. So then when you apply that aspect into life, and I've had these conversations on the gym floor with clients, and I'll say to them, you know, they're like, oh, sorry, actually, you know what? Last week, one of the clients were like, yeah, man, I just got to keep practicing what I'm doing. I said, no. I said, you need to fix what you're doing, right? And then when you fix it, practice what you fix, because what you fixed is better than what you were doing.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I said, if you're going to continue practicing that, you're not going to get better at what you're doing because you're practicing the wrong thing. If you
practice bad habits, you're only going to get good at bad habits.
So I said, we need to fix what you're doing and then practice what we fix. When you practice what we fix, you will then get better at what you're doing. And so then you can take that approach into your nutrition.
Yeah.
You can take that approach into your business. You can take, that's something that you taught me. If something that you've done with your business isn't working, why the fuck are you still doing the same thing?
He listens, guys. He listens.
100% I do. If you're practicing the same thing but it's not working, why are you still practicing that for? Change something.
Yeah.
Fix what you need to fix and then practice that.
And going on that, like on top of that as well, it is scary to think and daunting
it is.
For some people. Others get excited about the change because the change means untapped potential, right? That's what it should mean. That's what it always means, in my opinion. Changing and wanting to build something better is untapped potential waiting to be realized.
100%, man.
Right? Or waiting to be discovered, right? And I think that's fucking exciting. Yeah. That's what you live life 100%.
For. And now going back to what you said at the beginning as well, when you were talking about singular focus, and obviously now putting that into, some people do get scared to change, or they might get a bit hesitant or nervous. One thing at a time.
Exactly right. And this is why they get nervous
at a time.
Is because they think about all the things that need to happen. I need to change. They go, there's too many. I can't. You go, okay. This is where like our coaching comes in and our 100%. Mentoring comes in and our approach comes in, and we just break it down. We simplify it. Let's focus on habit stacking.
100%.
Right? And simple. It's the definition is in the term. Habit stacking is simply building habits on top of each other over time. So one habit, new habit, for 1 week, practice for 7 days, that becomes part of your routine as a non-negotiable.
So I just realized, bro, you're camouflaging into that couch.
Am I? What about my tan? Is my tan camouflaging? Is my tan camouflaging into the wall?
I was looking at you and I'm like, what the fuck?
Anyway, so week 1 is one habit and it becomes a part of your daily routine, non-negotiable. Week 2, another habit, part of your daily routine, non-negotiable. If you do this for say 6 to 8 to 10 weeks, you've got 10 new habits that you've incorporated over 10 weeks that have built up so much different in 10 weeks. I will come back after a week off, and you notice this in me every time. After a week off on holiday, I come back different. Why?
Because you've rested.
That, but also I come back with a different mindset because
you've actually had time.
I've had time to think, and I've taken
and plan, and
but I've allowed my brain to be what our brains are designed to be. That's creative.
Yeah.
Not focused on remembering shit.
Yeah.
Right. So when we allow our brains to be creative, we look at the different things and the potential that we have in front of us to be able to make changes, have the life that we want, achieve the body composition we want, do the things that give us fulfillment, essentially. Right. And we go, okay, how can I make this a reality? Let's just really think about it. So when I come back to work, I'm looking at everything going, okay, it's almost like I've changed lenses. I've taken the blue light blocking glasses off and I've gone, okay, and I can see all the colors for what they really are.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's make this the way I want it to be. That goes there. This goes in the bin. This goes here.
Yeah.
That goes down there. Alex is going to do this now. Alex's roster is going to look like that. His roles are here for this day, here for that day. Anna's going to do this. And we just do this, right? I'm going to start at this time, finish this time, have dinner at this time, hopefully sleep by this time, get a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and then give my best the next day, right? All these different things. And that does what for me? It allows me to it gives me clarity, but it gives me a sense of, okay, this is something I can stay consistent with for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
Not, hopefully this works. When I burn out, then we'll see how we go.
Yeah, 100%.
This is what most people's approach is like when it comes to their fat loss.
100%.
I'm going to train really, really hard. I feel good. Even though I'm tired, I'm buggered, I'm in pain, I'm just going to push through.
Yeah.
And if something breaks, I'll deal with it when it happens. No.
100%. Well,
that's reactive, not proactive.
I had that conversation with another client. Measured her last week of her first week back. and she's back at work as well. And yeah, all right, she put a bit of body fat on, she put a bit of weight on. It is what it is. And she was like, fuck, like, what am I gonna do? I said, okay, well, let's stop for a second. You had the holiday period. I said, did you enjoy yourself? She said, look, I'm not gonna lie, I went a little bit overboard. You know what I mean? I was with my kids. I had, a lot of family functions, drinking, eating, blah, blah.
Memories, had fun, get over it.
Right. And I said, okay, sweet. I said, all good. I said, look, it's not the result that we're looking at right now actually isn't too bad. Right. I said, so don't stress yourself out. I said, but when you're in your normal routine, I know because I coach you, your normal routine is not that bad, eh? And she said, no, it's actually pretty good. Like when I'm actually, in my schedule and, eating what I eat and training and walking, I lose pretty quick. I said, exactly. I said, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go back to that. I said, just go back to that. Don't think that you need to do anything drastic right now. Revert back to what we know. Revert back to what we know works.
Yeah.
And do what you do best, right? I said, I know that your food is fine because you naturally eat fairly healthy because you're just conscious about what you eat. That's just you. And I love that about you. It's easy with you. She goes, yeah, sweet. I said, now, if there's one thing that you haven't done much over the last 2 to 3 weeks, it's physical activity, right? She said, yeah, I haven't done anything. I said, all right, so let's just go back to walking. You're now back at the gym. You're 2-3 days a week.
Yeah.
I said, you know how to eat.
Give her a week or two, she's back to normal. Yeah.
I said, just start with your walking again. That's the one thing I want you to focus on. And when me and you check in again in a fortnight's time,
that's it.
I want to see how many steps you've done each day. And we'll do your next body fat test and we'll see what's going on.
Yeah. You know what the thing is? The thing is about body fat tests as well. I just want to just look at that. I'm looking at the way in which we work with our clients and the different systems, and I want to integrate a different style of system with checking in and support and accountability and guidance with the clients, right? One of the things that I really want to minimize is the body fat testing. And the reason why is this. The body fat test, a lot of client psychology around it is, fuck, if I haven't lost, I've gone to shit.
Yeah.
Right? Or everything I'm doing is for nothing, or I've gone backwards. Fuck, but I've killed myself in the gym. I haven't gotten anywhere. And the thing is, when we look at body fat in general, when somebody's going through a body fat, a fat loss process, so to speak, we have certain receptors that determine where our body fat either stays or where it goes. So we've got beta receptors or we've got alpha receptors. In certain areas of our body, if there's higher levels of beta receptors, the fat loss under the skin especially, that stubborn fat, subcutaneous fat goes. If someone's got high alpha receptors, it's actually more stubborn. It slows down. So as somebody loses their body fat, the body composition changes. So the measurement on, they may look leaner, right? But the measurement on their mid-axillary, it's not the mid-axillary, so the iliac, so just above the hip crest, it may 1 week be less, and then that day you've done it, so the fortnight previous is less, that day you've done the next measurement, it's gone up. So but the fat hasn't got, and necessarily, they haven't actually gotten fatter. That site has held on to more fat because based on what's happening with their body, there's more alpha receptors in that site, right? Same thing with the scapula, the shoulder blade one, right? Same thing with, the stomach. A lot of fat gain in certain areas is not so much, yes, it's calorie based. That's the main underlying driver, but a lot of it is hormonal, especially around the midsection. It's cortisol. All of that is cortisol. We can get somebody on the cleanest fucking diet, 365, and follows their calories really well. But if they're not sleeping well, they're not hydrated, what happens? It means fuck all. Nothing. Their hormones are way out of whack, and their cortisol is too high, and it becomes chronic. And then the fat gain around here is just bigger and bigger and bigger.
If there's
right?
one saying, so you continue, go.
So what I was going to say was, this whole process of the measurements, it's going to change. We're going to be using girth measurements, and it's a daily girth measurements, daily weigh-ins at home every day. Is going to be something that I want them to do, and they just got to note it down. Right. And then we have more of an emphasis on behavior change. Yeah. Right. Because behavior change is the longevity aspect for the client. And the consistency aspect for the client, and the integration of the right kind of things for their life, for their goals that they can keep up with. Then we do measurements maybe every 6 to 8 weeks. Right. And what happens there is the individual is able to have a much better look about an overview of everything in terms of the lowest hanging fruit, and then we throw in the body fat test on top. We've made the mistake of making the body fat test the prime judgment of their progress without looking at the behavior that actually fuels that body fat, whether to go up or down. Yeah. So we're flipping the script in a sense of, let's focus and make the lowest hanging fruit and the prime focus, and the things that we're going to applaud, the behavior and the mindset around nutrition and lifestyle and sleep and all that kind of stuff. and really focus on making things easier, more consistent, and more applicable for the client to be able to incorporate into their lifestyle. Then we have these daily measurements that they do for themselves first thing in the morning, every morning, so they're accurate, and they record them over the couple of weeks or months, and they give us that data. And then we do on the 8th week we do their measurement, right? We might do week 1, week 4, week 8, week 12, week 16, for example, right? But the reason why we do it that way is because we're doing not just one way to measure them and their progress. We've got like 6 different ways we're looking at it, and it's going to allow us to help them better. And then when the client has a check-in call, they only have to do the check-in call if they need it, right? Because they feel like they're actually very, very good with everything that they've been provided and all these extra resources that I'm going to be providing everybody to give them the support that they need so they can actually work it out for themselves. The accountability aspect is there as a if that whenever they need it, right? And it's not a thing that they feel like they have to rely on, right? I need my meal plan. I don't know what to eat for the next 2 weeks. That's not the way to work with the client anymore. It shouldn't be the way to work with the client. Because if somebody needs a meal plan or so they don't know what the fuck to do for the next 2 weeks with their food, you failed them as their coach.
We haven't done our job properly,
right? Like when somebody says to me, Anthony, what am I going to have for the next 2 weeks? I said, do you know what to eat? Do you know what's right and wrong? Do you know what's good for your body, not good? They said, yeah. I said, then fucking eat it.
Yeah, hard.
I said, you don't need a meal plan to tell you don't have McDonald's for fucking dinner or pizza or a burger for dinner. You don't need a meal plan to tell you that.
What,
and they look at
can't
me
have
like,
Macca's for dinner?
but they look at me like, what? I'm
Man,
like,
you can't have
come on,
Macca's for
like,
dinner, bro.
let's think outside the box here. Let's think for ourselves a little bit. You don't need me to tell you what to have for dinner, right? You know, having protein and veg and some good carbs is a better dinner for you because it's going to help with your sleep, help you feel good, and help you wake up feeling better. You know, having your protein and your fats first thing in the morning is going to help you feel good and stay fuller for longer and manage your blood sugar better. You know this. You don't need a meal plan to tell you this.
Yeah.
You don't need me to say have 3 eggs if you don't have 3 eggs in the morning. I haven't followed a meal plan in years. I'm not a fat dude.
Yeah. I haven't either, to be honest. I just know how much to eat and what to eat.
Well, we only do the calorie and the strict calorie following and the meal plan for ourselves personally if there's a big goal and a specific goal, right?
Like
whether
a full
it be
specific goal.
performance-based or body composition-based, that's when we'll follow it.
Yeah.
If it's longevity and health, we know what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah,
We've done this for too long.
100%.
Right? So our clients, same kind of thing. If our clients are coming to us going, Anthony, I want to get to 5% body fat, okay. There's a structure we need to follow, and I've got to explain this to you.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to enjoy your weekends anymore if you want to get to 5% body fat.
Yeah,
Are
it's
you
a different
okay with
story,
that? Right? If somebody says, Anthony, I just want to lose some weight, I'm just not happy with how I'm feeling at the moment, just want to lose some of this extra body fat, what do I need to do? You need to change your behaviors.
Yeah.
Let's sit down, let's get you understanding what needs to happen on a day-to-day basis, and let's just work on staying consistent.
Yeah.
We'll check in as often as you feel like you need, and then we'll do a measurement every 4 weeks, and then we'll keep you in check with what's happening. But you come to the gym, you fucking work hard, you do your step count, you sleep well, drink your water, eat majority of your food from whole foods, and you'll be very surprised what happens.
Yeah, 100%.
That's not as complicated as, hey, I need to make sure you have every single fucking gram covered in your calories and macros, or else you're not going to get the result you want.
That's the thing,
that's not longevity, bro.
People work different as well. Like at the end of the day, we specialize in coaching, the general population, right? Bro, the general population does not have the space in their brain to sit there and count every single fucking calorie. They're dealing with so many things.
Why do you think we've designed these two things?
Yeah.
Right? I've done the protein powder for a reason, to cover help them cover their protein count and their calories, and it's all counted done for them. But we've done a meal prep company because we were telling people to have ready-made meals as a way to help them stay on track with their nutrition. But we just realized all the other ready-made meal companies were shit full of preservatives and use seed oils. Whereas our meal prep company is whole food, very authentic, and uses nothing but olive oil with no preservatives, right? But what we've done essentially is cover their calories and macros for them,
100%.
Giving them time back, help them save money, help them nourish their body, and allow them to be able to have nice, healthy, good tasting food that still aligns with their goals that they want to have of building muscle, losing body fat, having good energy, and looking after their health. So we've done these things for them for this reason, because we know that our clients have certain problems, right? And I've listened to their problems. And we've been able to develop 2 products now, and we're working on a 3rd one, right? That's going to allow us to answer these problems for them and help them more and more and more.
Exactly right.
Right? We call this a vertical approach to a business, right? And so, going back to this whole, the first thing I spoke about, undernourished, overstimulated, under-recovering, everything that we've been talking about comes back to your behaviors and your habits, not following a strict meal plan.
If there's one thing that I can say, and I use this saying or phrase, whatever you want to call it, because again, the human body doesn't care about your goals. Right? Your body doesn't care about your goals. Your body doesn't care about your emotions.
Well, your physical body is a representation of what your health's like.
And so all you need to do is create, I should say, the right environment for your body so then it can do what you want it to do, right? If you don't create the right environment for your body, because remember, going back to, like I said, your body's a survival mechanism. It just cares about surviving. So if you don't give it the right environment, how can you expect it to do what you want it to do? If you're over caffeinated, right? You're low sleep or little sleep or shit quality sleep. You're barely eating in the day. You're destroying yourself with training or not doing any physical activity at all. So you're pretty much doing everything that goes against your body. You're not going to get the result that you want. You're not going to get the goal that you want, and you're going to destroy your health in the meantime.
Well, you got to look at it like this. Anybody's ability to be able to change their body composition is heavily reliant on their ability to work out well, right? But then be able to recover from that so they can see progress. People are not understanding how important recovery is, right? This is why I emphasize the recovery center so much, because it's an aggressive way to bring down stress. Right? Because most people are going to go home, and what are they going to do? Put themselves in front of their phones or in front of the TVs, and they're going to increase adrenaline in their brain again.
100%.
Right? On their nervous system again, because they're like this in front of something. Especially your phone is like that close to your face, right? So emphasizing using the sauna for up to 20 minutes at a time, emphasizing using the ice bath for up to 2 to 3 minutes at a time is your best way and the most aggressive way to bring down your adrenaline and your stress hormone, but also on your stress or your adrenaline hormones, and your overall stress in your nervous system, but also teach you to manage that stress better. Yeah. Right? It's not about eliminating. It's about managing better. Yeah, so if you can manage stress better, you recover better, you look better, you perform better. You can kill yourself in the gym because your body's able to recover from it.
Exactly right.
I don't recommend people killing themselves in the gym, because if they're walking in and I'm so tired this morning, don't kill yourself. Just follow the program. Yeah. And if you need to pull back a little bit, because you're not trying to train for that one session. You're trying to train for the next 10, 15, 20 years. I had to talk to a girl yesterday. She's 18. Well, I said to her, so you're not training for the next week. You're not training for the next month. I want you training for the next 10 to 20 years of your life, if not more. So stop getting fixated on going hell for leather on every session and going heavy all the time with your training, because that's not the way to get you long-term results. And then obviously it's not the way to get you to sustain these results. So it's going to just injure you real quick, and then you're going to have to go all the way back to square one. And you're going to hate it because you're going to lose out on all the gains that you've achieved over the years of training. Right? And again, overstimulated, under-recovered, unnourished, over-caffeinated, however you want to term it. Right? All these things are a recipe for disaster. If you flip those things to better habits and better behaviors and a better system, you're going to find that you can be able to train how you like to train and see the results from that.
Definitely.
That's it.
Definitely, man.
All right, man. Thank you for that
was
one.
good.
That
so
was
remember, that was a good episode. I like that episode.
Don't forget, Alex was going to say, remember.
Like, subscribe. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, on Spotify. We appreciate the support. Create the environment that your body wants, so then you can achieve the goal that you want. And like Anthony said,
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Pta Podcast.